gosh. Okay, so what time is it right now? Because I could talk all day. We are at, wow, 11:53. So I figured this would be an hour and a half, but I think I've been chatting a little bit more than expected. So I'm going to say the next 15 minutes we'll need for EFT because I really want you to understand it. If anybody wants to stay for question and answers, I'll stay on and we'll end without rushing. But if you have to leave, because I know it's a Saturday, it's Christmas and things like that, just you can let yourself go. The replay will be available shortly. Okay, so EFT, what is it? Some people will say it's tapping, EFT, emotional freedom technique. It is a universal healing tool that can be used to treat anything from physical pain, emotional distress. It can improve your performance. Let's say I'm going to make a speech, and back then I used to be very terrified of speaking in public. I used to tap beforehand and say, I'm going to be a great communicator today. I'm going to go with the flow. And I would tap out my anxiety. Kids use it if they're going for their first hockey game or they're changing schools, going to a new classroom. They can tap away anxiety. You can tap away if you have a back pain. You can say, okay, this back pain, I'm tapping for that. So it can be referred to as psychological acupuncture. We are using acupuncture points. So we're tapping away. So when we're tapping, again, you want to use enough pressure because you are pushing this out. It's kind of going to cell memory. And it's very interesting. There's a few channels I listen to, and they were just talking about tapping the other day. And they're saying tapping works. Okay, I don't need to hear it from that person or that channel to say tapping works. I know it works. It's phenomenal. But it's always nice to get that confirmation coming from someone who's channeling a higher being saying tapping works. It really does. Everything that we're speaking about today are tips and tricks you have at your fingertips that can really help you start to let go of those blocks. The more you use them, the more powerful they could become. The beauty of EFT is at your fingertips. So yeah, use it anytime you want. So sometimes I could be in a public space and have something happening. Let's say something's going on and it's really upsetting me. I'll just go into a public bathroom, kind of not, and just tap away, and I'll feel better. It was interesting. I was at this event once. It was like 250 people. We were in a meditation in a conference. And in that meditation, my dad came to me. He just passed away, so I was super sensitive about it. And I was bawling. It was beautiful, but my emotions were. And some man goes, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm all right. I need to go to the bathroom." And I just went to the bathroom and I was tapping. And some lady goes, "Oh, are you having a response to the meditation too?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "I'm tapping here too." So two people having their own experience from something, tapping away. So it was kind of cute. I became friends with her after. So EFT tapping removes energy blocks in your field and it allows you to regain that balance. You're actually pushing out something. So the more you practice and the more easier the method becomes and the more powerful. So I'm going to make it as easy as possible for you to understand tapping, for you to realize it's not this big complicated thing. But I believe anytime we're introduced to tapping, it seems long, it seems kind of like it's too much work and it's complicated. So hopefully I have put it into words, and it's not my process. I did not create this, but I use it and I love to teach it. So the benefits of EFT. So it's really to help you be the best version of you. So it can really resolve emotional issues that are stored in your field. It brings peace, emotional freedom. It brings, like sometimes these issues leave and never come back. So I'll give you an example. So when I first started learning about EFT, my younger son has a really nice energy to him, but bees were attracted to his energy. Not the greatest thing for a kid because no kids want bees in their field. So he's outside playing at 4 years old, maybe 4.5, and he came in screaming from the backyard in full trauma because a bee landed on his face. Didn't bite him, but it landed on him. He was screaming. So, oh, I just got this thing, use EFT. So as he was screaming, I'm going through the EFT process saying, oh, I'm so scared of bees, I'm having trauma, blah, blah, blah. I just did it once and he calmed right down. And my husband at the time was like there watching, going, what the hell just happened? How did he go from this to this? I said, I don't know. I did this EFT thing. I'm just figuring this out. Anyway, my son goes outside to play. He came back like 2 minutes later and he says, Mom, the bees are my friend. They're not here to hurt me. They're just my friend. So me and my husband at the time were like, what happened? So that was my first huge thing, difference I saw after using EFT. So I started to take it more seriously. And I believe we get what we need to believe, what we need to believe to continue. So it's a really fabulous tool. I love using it in many things that I do. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna make sure. I'm just going into something for a second. That I am still recording. I just want to make sure I'm recording. It's hard to see when I'm in a different view right now. So yeah, I think we are. Okay, perfect. All right, because I do want to keep this on a video for people to really use EFT. Because if once you get to master this, wow. And even when you're in the process of just figuring it out, it's still working. So you can use EFT to benefit yourself and you can use it to benefit others. Sometimes we have a really big shift that never comes back. You can use it for traumas, for stress relief, for allergy relief, for so many things, phobias, and sometimes phobias just go away. And I want to give you the example here. It says, use the ambulance example. So what happened here as I was talking to an ambulance driver, and I don't know, I think we met at some type of energy event. And he was saying that they were taught to use EFT when they came to a situation. He goes, sometimes there's a lot of people who are in panic mode, say if it's car accident or something. He goes, what we do is we do EFT very, very quietly, not to let anyone see, but it calms the crowd down. So they're looking at the chaos of the crowd and they do EFT to bring it down. And I said, that's pretty neat for an ambulance driver to have been taught to use EFT to help calm a situation so they could work effectively. It's really quite neat. So I thought that was neat. That was a while ago, but that conversation always stuck in my head. So what can you use it for? So we kind of gone through this already. So child tantrums. Your child's in another room having a tantrum. Use EFT and know it's working because it really does. Your anger or someone else's anger, nervousness, sadness, fears and phobias. Also, for someone who is coming into a session, a lot of the anxiety, emotions, fear come up because we're going to clear it. I usually will tell my clients to use EFT to push that out and keep them in the moment. So when they come to the session, they're not so freaked out. So EFT is a really great thing to have in your toolbox. Interestingly, when it comes to anger, it can be somebody else's anger. So let's say you're in a situation where someone comes home and they're in bad mood and they're going to shift the whole energy of the home. You can actually, not letting the person see, they're angry stomping upstairs or downstairs and you know they're mad. You can EFT the tapping and say, it's for so-and-so's anger, for my uncomfortableness with the anger. And as you're tapping, I've had this happen, where that angry person starts whistling and dancing. And you're like, wow. And sometimes that's how powerful EFT can be, all right? Now, here's just the overview in the process. So the reason I've tried to break it down this way is so you realize it's not a big and scary process. It's doable. We'll just break it down chunk by chunk. So first thing you want to do with EFT, it works best with one issue at a time. You don't want to EFT for all my life problems. You don't want to do that. You want to really drill down to what is the issue at hand right now. So you identify the issue and only one issue at a time. You're going to develop the healing phrase. So for instance, I'm feeling anxious right now. The purpose of the EFT at this point is for my anxiousness. Now, do I know I am anxious? Yeah, I may know, I may not know, but it's for the anxiousness at this time. So then you want to allow, acknowledge, and accept. I allow myself to heal. I know I'm feeling anxious. I kind of know, kind of don't know, but I'm going to allow this EFT to work. Then you want to rate your severity of it. And the reason I want you to do this, it's actually kind of neat. So my anxiety at this time is a number 10. And we're going to go through this together. So you don't have to do it now. I'm just kind of giving the overview. But you can keep this flow chart to remind you. So at this time, usually when we're doing EFT, it's because we are feeling really icky and it's like a level 10. Level 0 is no anxiousness. Level 10 is huge. Now I will set the intention. I will feel better. Then you're going to begin the EFT process, which I'm going to teach you. After that, you then reassess, how am I feeling? Usually give yourself 1 or 2 minutes after the EFT. How am I feeling right now? I'm feeling a lot better. I'm going to rate it. Oh, now I'm at a 7 out of 10. Not bad. And then you may want to do it again to bring you down to a level 5. When you're starting to use EFT, it's not a one-time miracle, but it can be. So you might go from a level 10 to a level 7, a level 7 to a level 5 or 4, and then do it again. Sometimes in the past, I've had to do EFT 3 or 4 times to bring me back to where I wanted to be. Nowadays, I do EFT and I go boom really quick. But again, it's muscle memory. It's like muscle memory. It's energetic memory. So be kind to yourself. Some people will call me and say, Brenda, can you please EFT me? Because I just did it and it's not working. No, it did work, but it gave you a 20% relief. Do it again. It's going to accumulate. Don't give up thinking, oh, Brenda has to do it. No. This is something you can do for yourself. Again, the more you do it, the more powerful it becomes. Next. So now we're going to actually go through some of the steps, and I don't know what I have here, so let's just kind of go through it. So let's make a mental note. If anyone on the call here, you're here, so just think of something that's bothering you. So it could be physical pain like back pain or, a knee pain, whatever. It could be a fear or phobia, say a fear of spiders, whatever, emotional trauma. Oh, I'm thinking of this embarrassing moment that happened this week where I tripped at work or whatever. Or it could be, I have something big to do and I'm scared I'm not going to do good. So it's a performance enhancement we want to do. So you can, if you have a sheet of paper with you, you can write it down saying at this point it's this. So actually, I'm going to think of one right now. Okay, you know what? Does anyone have, okay, I'm just going to go back to the chat. Does anybody have an issue they want us to all work on together? I'll use that one as an example. I'm looking at the chat now, or someone can just say, yes, work on this. All right, I'm going to give you a second. If anyone has one, we'll do it. If not, I'll just think of something. Oh, okay, regrets. Perfect. All right. Thank you. So focus and clarity. Oh, someone beat you. They're all great. So Lynn, you use focus and clarity because that's what you're going to put in. And Katya, use regrets. And I'll use regrets as the main one. And then anyone can fill in the blanks, but that gives me something to work with. So let's just say I am regretting past events, my past. Now it's general, but I know that feeling of regret is coming from regretting past events. And the reason I like this one is I was there. I had a lot of regrets, embarrassment, and shame from my past. So sometimes it would be so overwhelming. I just wanted to cry and just say, oh, how did I do that? One thing, just kind of a side note, regrets, shame, embarrassment, are a really great indication that you're growing. Because if you were here when you made those decisions and those life choices, and now you're here, well, the difference in your growth is showing you as a regret. So regret really is a good indicator that you've grown. The problem is we get stuck in regret, and that's not the purpose of regret. The purpose of regret is to show your growth and where you've come from. So we want to release that regret from our field. Say, yes, I have grown. I'm not that person. I would never do that again, but I'm going to release that energetic stuckness. So let's go to the next one. Next slide here is I'm going to acknowledge my problem and I'm going to accept myself. So I'm going to achieve two goals here. So now I'm going to write my healing phrase. In my case with regret, I'm going to say, even though I have these regrets from my past, I deeply and completely accept myself. Now for Lynn, even though I'm having a hard time focusing and feeling clear, I deeply and completely accept myself. So you're going to add in what you need to heal. So it can be very customized to how you're feeling. So here we have our healing statement. All right, next you want to write it down. So I'm just going to write down regret. I know what I'm thinking of. I'm just going to do this naturally as I talk because I've been doing this a while. But for those of you who are new, you're going to actually write down your healing statement. Even though I have this regret from my past mistakes, I deeply and completely accept myself. Next, you're going to self-assess yourself. How bad or how good do I feel about this? So I'm a number 10. I have so much regret. It's crippling me. It's almost hard to concentrate because of how much regret I have. So I'm going to label myself, say a 10. Maybe I'm not a 10. Maybe I'm an 8. So on that scale, you want to put that healing issue. How big is it for you? So I'm going to put it's a 10. But I would like to see, Katya, where would you rate yourself on this? Because I want to use you as an example here. With regrets, how do you feel? Is it a 9? Okay, good. So we're gonna have it as a 9. I'm just gonna put this out of the way. Okay, so now we're on to the next phase here. So the emotional freedom technique is actually 3 parts. It is the face and hand tapping, the gamut steps, the face and hand tapping. Now, like, oh my gosh, 3 steps. A and C are exactly the same. So that's we have to learn really 2 steps, but we are doing it. The first step, last step are the same. The in-between is the gamut. A lot of people who teach EFT don't teach it right because they miss the important part of the gamut. Because it's, I'm not going to say confusing, but it seems overwhelming the first time you learn EFT. But again, there's going to be this video. You can replay it to the part that you want to replay. So I'm going to actually kind of break it up here. And we are going to do the face and hand tapping. First, I want you to see it on screen before I actually demo it for you. And when I demo it, you can either watch or you can do it with me. The neat thing is, even if you're just watching, you are going to get the benefit of it, okay? So let's just look at the screen here. We have the face and hand tapping. Now, this has been taken from different material I found online, and I've put it together in a way I think is understandable. So tapping itself starts at the top of the head. And it's funny because I don't always do this part. It's not the most natural for me, but I'm going to teach it as though it was created. So the tapping of the head, and you kind of start your tapping process. The next area, when it says beginning of the eyebrow, that is just this part of the bone here. And then you want to go to the side of the eye, which is the bone at the side of the eye. Under the eye is the bone under the eye. Under the nose is just under the nose. The tip of the cheek, it's actually just under the lip, I'd say, right in there. The beginning of the collarbone. Well, that's kind of where, you know how we did that tapping earlier? So it's not the collarbone, it's the soft spot. It's those K27s, it's in there, all right? Or they're K2 points. I think I've seen them called 2 different things. So it's mainly the soft spot underneath the collarbone. Then under the arm, where that is, if you're a woman, you have a bra strap right in there. If you're a man, kind of where a bra strap would be, or just underneath the underpit area in here, that's under the arm. Then we get to the hand. When you're doing the hand, it is the thumb area here. So where is that actually? So look at, it's kind of like on the thumb, just at the beginning of the nail area on either hand. There's no right or wrong with the hands. You're tapping in there. Then you're going to tap on the nail on the next finger, kind of like under here. Then on the middle finger. Interestingly, this finger has nothing to do. Sometimes I include it when I was new because I would forget which finger am I supposed to miss. So I just did all fingers. If you include this finger, not a big deal. Include it because it makes it easier. But as you get good at it, you're like, oh no, why? I don't need to do that finger. And then you do the pinky finger. And then you go to the karate chop, which is just on your hand on the side. You can do it like this, you can do it like this, you can do it like this, but you're hitting that area, which is the karate chop. So this is the first segment. Now, I'm just going to stop sharing the screen so you can see me for a second, because I really want you to really understand what I was just saying in full view here. So again, it's the tapping on top of the head. It's that area on the beginning of the eyes, that bone, then the side, then here, under the nose, under the lip, the soft spot, the underarms. Then we go back to the hand, so either hand. But when you're doing the thumb, it's kind of like right there on the thumbnail. Then the finger there, and then that one here. We can miss this one, but we're going to do it today because I think sometimes it's just easier. Then the pinky. And you're going to tap, and then the karate chop. Now, people will always ask, how much do I tap? How do I tap? So we're going to go through that before we continue. So the tapping, I usually, if I'm doing the top of my head, I usually just do it with one hand. You can use either hand, it doesn't matter. When we're doing the eyes, I generally use both. And I usually use either one or two fingers. So in this area, using two fingers is almost too much. So I just use the one, tapping in here, and then I tap in here. Now, I generally tap between 5 and 7 times, but it can be longer. I just kind of go with my intuition. Under the eyes, you're tapping, under the nose, here. Then I usually give a big bang in here because I'm used to it. Again, this area is sensitive. So if you're not used to tapping, just tap as much as you can feel or handle. Thing is, we're tapping out energy. So you do want a bit of pressure there, under the pits there. All right, so that's how we're going to do it. So that's the tapping process. Now we will do this all together. We'll do it once where I demo the full thing, but you can join in, and then we'll demo it again. Now, as we're doing this, Katia and everyone else, although we're just demoing it, we're actually getting the results of the EFT. So after I show you the demo, I'm going to ask, how do you feel? And then we'll do it again because I want to bring you from a 9 and eventually to a 0 before we get off this call for all of you and your issues. So the next thing we're going to demo is the in-between part. So I'm going to go back to the slide here. And we're going to the gamut. So I'm going to talk about this before we go back to the actual demo. So the gamut is the part that a lot of people like to ignore or not do because like, oh, it's so confusing. It's confusing because there's a lot of things and it's new, but this is so powerful. This is going to the subconscious and rejigging stuff. We don't want to let this out, leave this out. So if you're doing it and it's not perfect, it's better to do it and not be perfect than not do it at all. So I remember doing this thing. This is so frustrating, but I mastered it, and it's easy to master over time. So first, let's set an intention. Learning EFT is easy. Learning the gamut process is easy. Let's just go with it and learn it. So the gamut, like I said, is that in-between spot between the pinky and the ring finger. So I'm going to go through the instructions, then I'm going to demo it for you. Eyes closed. So you're all along, you're tapping. So if you can just keep tapping while we're doing this. You're tapping in between there. Either hand is fine. You're going to, the way it's going to work is we're going to first close your eyes, then open your eyes. You can do it as we're going through or just listen for now. Now, your eyes, when I say the eyes, hard down right while holding it steady. So what this means is the third step. Really what you're doing is you're taking your eyes and you are looking down to the floor with your eyes. Now, the trick is when you're doing the gamut is you're keeping your head straight. You have your eyes open, your eyes closed, you're open. Now we're on third. We're still tapping, but you are now using your eyes and you're looking down to the floor. And then you come back. Now for step 4, you're using your eyes and you're looking down to the left and you're coming back. All along, you're doing this. Now for the eye roll. Now the eye roll can be frustrating because this is part of us that does not want to have a smooth eye roll because your brain is hiding something. So what does that mean exactly? Your eyes, while you're tapping, it's like we have a clock in front of us. Your eyes are going to follow either my finger or a clock going on all numbers in a smooth moment. Your eyes do this eye roll. So if you just practice the eye roll, let's just practice it now, where we're just moving our eyes to follow every number on the clock, nice and smoothly. Now, interestingly, a lot of people's eyes will jump from here to here, do this and jump again. This is the frustrating part, but it's okay because it's healing as you're doing this. So as you're doing, if you jumped and you could not make a smooth motion with your eyes without moving your head, you do it again. And if you didn't do it, you do it again. And the really neat thing, if you start to understand why this is happening, you'll want to actually work on it so it's a nice smooth. Whatever is up in your field, your brain is hiding it. It's like, no, I don't want to deal with this. No, I can't deal with it. It's too hard. It's too hard. No, today we're going to deal with it. We're tapping and we're using the eye roll to capture all the crap that we need to release today that's associated with that issue. That's up for release today. We're not going through all the trauma you had that's causing this, but we are dealing with what is up for healing at this moment in time. We heal in layers, systematically, and safely. So you're being guided by your higher self on what's being released right now. So once you do it that way, now you're going to do it with the opposite way. So it's like going the opposite. So we're kind of just explaining it at this time. So again, if you jumped, you would do it again while all along tapping. So this is the tricky part. You're doing something brand new, you're tapping your gamut, and you're doing this eye roll, and you're doing this eye roll. It's like, oh, it's so much. But it is a beautiful, strong, powerful healing. Next, when you complete that, you're still tapping. And now you're going to hum. And you're going to hum either birthday song, but I generally will say hum some other tune that you don't know. Just make up a tune. Because it's activating your brain. Now you're going to count to the number 5. And that is step number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the last one is you hum again. What you're doing is you're activating the right left part of your brain. The reason the gamut part is so strong, you're activating a meridian, which is a very powerful meridian. While you're doing it, you're doing all these exercises that are going to the subconscious mind, finding what needs to break and breaking it, dissolving it and healing it. All right, that's what's happening. You're activating the right and left. There's a lot happening there that you don't have to fully understand. No, it's powerful. It seems confusing, but it is doable with practice. And even when you are practicing, you are getting the results. Next, once you do the gamut, we're just simply going back to that. And I'm going to go through these steps one more time before we go through the entire process. So again, we're going back to the top of the head, the eyes, underneath, under the nose, under the lip, the soft spot, under the underpit, and then the tapping of the fingers. Now, when you're doing EFT, some people say it's okay to scream, yell. Some people say it's okay to be quiet. Some people say it's okay to talk. I would say go with the flow on how you feel. There are some days that when I'm doing EFT, I want to yell and scream and shout. And there are other times where I just want to talk slowly. I'm releasing this issue. Well, I'll give you before we get into one of the things, I remember being very upset with someone. I lost alignment. I was pissed off. I went up to my room and I was freaking out and crying. And my son came in. He goes, Mom, what's wrong with you? Let's tap together. I said, I don't want to tap. I want to be mad. And this kid starts tapping for me. I was more mad as he's tapping for me. All of a sudden, this calmness came through me. I told him, thank you. I was actually enjoying the anger, but you just like helped me resolve it quicker. I wouldn't have tapped for myself at that time. I was too mad. I wanted to be mad. And that's where we went to that first earlier slide that says sometimes when we're angry or frustrated, we don't want to do work on ourselves because we want to be there. I don't want to feel better. I want to be mad at that person. I want to be mad at this. But as you start to release it, that's where the healing really starts. So I'm going to drink some water. I'm going to demo it again, just kind of for all of you to see. But I'm just curious before we start, Katia, how are you feeling right now? Do you have any relief? And it's okay if you don't. So there's no right answer, okay? Just give me a number from 0 to 10, and it can be 9 again. Okay, there's still a 9. So now we're going to add in the verbiage, and I am going to use Katia, which is the regret. But when I'm saying regret, then, and I'm saying my sentence, then I want you to add in your words. Now, yelling, screaming, shouting, you're all on mute, right? So, we're all gonna be yelling there. That's fine. Be on mute, yell, scream. It's gonna feel so good if you can, yeah, the replay will be up for everybody. I'll get it. I may do it in chunks because it's a long video. We're actually now at 2 hours, so I apologize. But I really want to get this through. If you have to leave, you can leave and watch it later. But here we go. So I'm going to show this full. You can join in if you want, yell and scream. I would say join in to the best of your ability here. All right. The intention of this EFT is regret. I'm regretting the past. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm angry. I have all these feelings coming up. I have so much regret. I can't even function today. All I think about is how pissed off I am at myself. How did I do this? I'm angry. I'm mad. I'm so pissed off. I have all these angers. I want to cry. I want to shout. I'm so upset with myself. How could I have ever done that? Why was I thinking that? Why do I have so much regret? Why did I act so stupid back then? You know, I don't even know what to say. I just have all this anger and regret and shame and embarrassment. You know what? I'm going to say I'm effing pissed off right now. I'm so angry at me. I'm angry at the world. I'm angry at my situation. I just want to yell and scream. I just want the world to know how mad I am. Sometimes I feel like, why am I even here? Why did I come to this planet? It's so friggin' difficult. And then I wonder, do I even deserve to be that? Like people, do I deserve respect? Do I deserve to amend these relationships? What is wrong with me? Why do I feel like I'm losing my mind? Why am I so frustrated right now? Why am I so scared? Why do I have all this regret? So we did level 1 right now. Now we're going to the middle, the gamut. So everyone tap here. Keep tapping here. This is the main thing. Tap here. If you can't follow me with the eyes, it's okay. You're tapping. You're looking forward. Close your eyes. Open your eyes. Now you're looking down to the right on the floor, looking straight again. Looking now to the left on the floor, looking straight again. Now we're going to do the eye roll. So picture a clock in front of you. It's right in front of your face. And your eyes are focusing on the 12, now the 1, now the 2, now the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, the 7, the 8, the 9, the 10, the 11, the 12. Now, I was able to do all of that without jumping. But if you jumped at this point, you would repeat it. I'm going to repeat it one more time for those of you who may have jumped. You're looking straight ahead at the 12. We're going to the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If you're able to do that, awesome. If not, don't worry, we'll get to this again. Now, it's hard to tap, move your eyes, and yell and scream at the same time. But let's just say I've been doing this a long time, so I'm going to demo what I would do after I've been doing this a while. I'm moving my eyes around. I am so frustrated. I hate the regret I'm feeling. I'm letting things go. I'm ready to be free. Now we're going to do it the other way. Now we've done it clockwise. We're going to do it counterclockwise. I'm still tapping. We're still tapping. Now we're going the opposite way. So now we're going from the 12 to the 11 to the 10 to the 9, the 8, the 7, the 6, the 5, the 4, the 3, the 2, the 1, the 12. Now blinking is okay. So some people say, oh, but I blinked. I believe blinking is okay. It's when you feel that jump in numbers. It's very interesting why you jump there. I don't know exactly. Some people say it's an age. Maybe you jump and miss 9 because only have a 9 years old. I don't know. That could be the reason. It doesn't really matter. We don't have to understand it. We just want a smooth eye roll to release. So I'm going to pretend we all did that. This is just a demo at this time. Now, after we've done the eye rolls in the circles, we are now going to hum a tune that we're just making up. Now we're going to count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to hum again. That middle section, the gamut, is now done. We are now going to close up. I'm still feeling frustrated. Is this resentment ever going to leave? Is this regret ever going to leave? What the heck is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? But you know what? I am kind of feeling a piece of peace, but I still feel some regret there. I'm just going to release whatever I can. I'm going to honor the process and be with it. Going under the nose. I just feel like I want to scream again. I'm just going to scream. Ah! And then here. Oh, wow, that feels good. You may want to breathe, pant, whatever. Then you're going back to the fingers. I'm letting go of the regret. I'm forgiving myself. I'm letting go of the regret. I'm coming to a calmer state. I'm accepting where I am. I love and accept myself. Now, that is a full EFT. Now, give it a minute or two because there's a lot that just happened for all of us. Any questions while I'm waiting? Because I don't want to get to where she is yet. I want it to process because it's processing. But if anyone has a question now is a good time to ask about the process or what you need more clarity on, because we're going to do it again. Okay. Yeah, okay. Very good. Actually, it's interesting because this session came to me. I thought I don't give out Christmas cards to all of my clients, and I don't have time to do that. I send out an email. I said, what can I give as a Christmas gift or holiday gift for the season? And they said, well, everyone keeps asking for videos. So why don't you do this and then create either mini videos or one and package it up in an email, send it out to everyone, say, hey, this is my Christmas present to you because it's going to help you for the holidays. And I think it's beautiful because it's all about learning how to do things on yourself. My clients aren't supposed to be my clients forever. You know what? Learn it, grow, and teach. Even if it's just teaching someone, hey, take a deep breath to calm yourself, all that beautiful stuff. So thank you. And there's so much information on the internet as well. And just go with how you're feeling and use it and work on yourself every day for 15 minutes. That is the one thing that Dr. Beatty, back in the day when I was really a bad case, she would say, Brenda, you come every 3 weeks for a beam session, but you make huge jumps. I said, because every day I do 15 minutes of work on myself and I'm learning different things to cope and get through this. And if I could get through the stuff I went through, anyone can get through it with just work on you. Biggest gift you can give is work on yourself. So Katia says she is a 6. And yeah, great. So now I want all of you to be like back. I want the issues that are coming up for you to be down. So let's do it again together. I'm just going to remind you with the slides what the steps are. Here we go. All right. So again, we're going to do the same issue because it's lessening, but and really what's happening, this is how I feel it. What's happening is you're being guided by your higher self to work on an issue. It's up in your field. Our past that we suppressed is coming up for healing. So out of the blue, you might feel anxious for no reason. Part of the healing, your experiences are coming up to the surface. We don't want to repress them and put them back anymore. We want to deal with them. So right now, Katia is dealing with regret. It's coming up from her past. It's here. So we want to look at it, honor it, and let it go. And what we're doing now is actually releasing those energetic blocks that have her stuck. And this is just one layer. She's not saying she's never going to feel regret again, but the next layer is going to then come up for healing. Now she can use this process to then use that next layer. And then the next layer, and you're chipping away. Every time you work on yourself, you are releasing that dense energy. You're bringing in more light and you're healing. So it's beautiful and it's something you can do for you. Now here we go again. So here are all the steps. You just take a look at them. We got that. Then we're going to do the gamut. And the gamut, again, nothing too scary. Big thing is you want to keep hitting that gamut as you're doing all those eye movements. Again, as you get really good at this, you can do the gamut, the eye movements, and still yell and scream and swear if you want to. But at the beginning, there's a lot of concentration on just the steps. So you may want to be silent during that. And then again, we finish off with the ending part. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen. We're going to bring in that phrase that we're all using. So I'm going to use Katia's of regret, but you're going to use your own personal ones. And then we are going to start. Okay. I still feel regret. I did EFT once. It didn't fully work. I'm getting frustrated. Why do I keep having these feelings? I'm ready to let them go. I'm so frustrated with myself. These regret feelings are just pissing me off. The anger, the stress, the anxiety I feel is just so much. I don't want to continue like this. Sometimes I'm going to say, I don't even like myself. I don't like the way I feel. I don't like what I've done. I'm just done. I'm frustrated. I'm angry. I feel unloved, unwanted, undeserving. I just want this healing journey to be over and I want to feel good. I just want to feel good. I hate the feeling of regret. It makes me feel unloved, unwanted. I feel tired and sleepy. I don't want to continue with my day. Oh, I'm so frustrated right now. I just want to scream. I don't care if the neighbors or my kids here, I'm going to scream. Ah! I would say some choice words right now, swearing, but because this is going on YouTube, but the F word might come up. Screaming and yelling and swearing is totally acceptable. Just let it out. That's the stage 1. Now we're going to the gamut. I am just ready to release all this stuff. Opening my eyes, closing my eyes, opening my eyes. Now, keeping eyes open, head straight, looking down to the floor to the right, looking straight ahead again. Now, keeping head straight, looking down to the floor with my eyes to the left, and then looking straight. Now I'm going to do the eye roll through counterclockwise, following every number on the clock without jumping. If I jump, I start all over again. I'm ready to release all this negativity, resistance. I'm ready to be the being I was born to be. Looking at the 12, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If you did that without jumping, fabulous. If you jumped, you do it again, and it's okay. You might want to do this many times. Just take a deep breath if you're having a hard time. Set the intention. I can do this eye roll. I am ready to release any resistance that's hiding or being tough. You are going to leave. I'm ready to heal. I'm assuming everyone's okay, and if not, keep doing it. I'm going to jump to the counterclockwise. Eyes straight, head straight, just eyes moving, following the numbers on the clock and coming back to the 12. I was able to do that. Great. Next, I am going to hum. I have no idea where my phone is. Okay. Now we're going to hum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The middle part is now done. Now we go back to the ending, the tapping again. Oh, I don't know. I am kind of feeling better. I mean, if there is some regret there, that's okay. I'm going to get rid of it because I know I am connected to my divinity. I deserve to heal. I am loved. I want to feel better. I am feeling better. The tapping is working in how it needs to work for me. Letting that go. Oh, wow, this is getting easier. It's not so difficult. Tapping is actually pretty easy. I'm actually enjoying tapping. And even if I did it in public and people thought I was strange, I would still do it. But I'm going to do it in private for now. It's more comfortable. Here we go. And ending with that. Now, I'm actually, it's funny because like, I'm just feeling giddy from it because it's getting rid of whatever I had to get rid of. And I just feel like laughing. So I'm curious. I'm going to read some of the chats here. I may have not read all of them. I'm perfect. Just give it a minute to process. Okay. So if you're doing this on your own, you're going to wait 1 or 2 minutes. All right. Now, if you were doing it for your screaming child, all right, it's funny. If someone teaches EFT, they'll say, oh, you can't do it for others. That's level 6. No, it's all intention. You can start doing this for your children, your pets right away. You can practice with them and screaming in the background and say, oh my gosh, that worked. Everything when you're dealing with energy work is intention. When you are working for the highest best of others, only the best and highest will happen for them. So you don't have to worry, am I doing it wrong? This type of stuff is very forgiving. You're setting the intention. I'm going to do EFT for my child who's freaking out, my child who is sad. I'm going to help them out and do the process. You're going to get the relief and they're going to get the relief. And because we are anxious when we hear someone upset or something. So right now, I'm doing this for you guys, but I'm also getting relief. So it's quite beautiful. So Katya, I'm curious. Let me know where you're at. And if anyone has comments, go right ahead. Okay. I'm just going to drink some water. It's a 4. Now, look at that. I'm going to read the whole thing. I jumped to the 4. Hold on a second. Let's see that everything. Okay, I'm going to read out loud. I'm actually feeling much compassion for myself. I see everything in life has led to me in this place to where I am right now. It was a part of a divine plan. Regrets decrease, angers decrease too. It's now a 4. I understand the situation better. Thank you so much. Okay, now we're going to do it again because I want you at a 0. But she said something so beautiful. Some people will say to me, "Oh, I'm so sorry what you had to go through your life." And I said, I at one point, yeah, I was sorry for what I went through too. But she's saying it was all divine plan. I would not be the person I am today if I didn't go through those challenges in my life. So, and it's looking back at it, this energy work, what we're doing, brings you to that broader perspective so you can look at things so you're not pulled into the drama, you're out of the drama. I love how eloquently that was put because that's what this is all about. It's about realizing I love myself. So that's beautiful. If you would let me take that quote and put it on at the beginning of this, I would love that because it's so beautifully said. Okay, I couldn't have said it better myself. So thank you for sharing. Now, we have Lynn feeling lighter. I'm sure all of us are feeling a little bit better. So from a 9, a 6, a 4, yeah, all right. Now, Katya, this is kind of a learning point for all of us. See how you're feeling right now, very connected, and you're loving yourself. Now, what's going to happen to all of us is when that next layer comes up for release and healing, you're going to lose this connection. You're going to feel, I regret, I'm so mad at myself because it's in your face. That is when you say, I'm going to tap and bring me back. That's where you go, I know I love myself. I'm going to do the work to get me out of that layer. Everything that we are releasing is unprocessed emotions that we have gone through in this lifetime. So they're coming up for release. And every time you do it, you're getting lighter and lighter, letting more dense energy out, bringing in more light. So your healing journey is a process. But as you work towards it and release as things come up, you are going to feel better and better and better. And we're at 12:45, so we are coming to an end, but I want to get us down to a 0. So we're going to do it one more time. I think you guys kind of get the steps. So I'm going to talk less. I'm just going to do it. Hold on, I'm going to read this. I like these little things here. I have a puppy who's teething. Oh, that's so cute. All right, honest. That's great. All right. Perfect. All right. Yeah, great. Like I love chatting with people, just 15 minutes, those little quick conversations can kind of get down to some issues and where we can go. But yeah, awesome. And you know what? Sometimes when pets are agitated, they're picking up our agitation. So I have a cat who mimics me, who will destroy my furniture when I'm going through something. And when I'm in my calm state, he's the most relaxed thing. So he mimics me and he's a reminder of where I'm at. So when my cat acts badly, his behavior is mine, is due to me. And he's my good indicator. And I didn't even make that connection till recently. I just thought I had an issue cat. And then someone brought it to my attention. No, he's your indicator. He's very connected to you. So I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, I have sacrificed a few couches because of my craziness, but it's all well and good. Okay, everyone, let's do this and we can get on our day feeling very light. Setting that attention again. All right, I'm going to use regret. Whatever is left, I'm sending out the intention. Whatever we have left in our field to release, let's make it so. I am ready to heal at all levels I may not understand. My regret's still there, but I'm having this compassion that I haven't felt before. All that I've been through is in divine timing. It's a part of my development and growth. Wow, I hope I could keep this realization in my head forever. Why am I feeling so good? Is it possible to feel so good? Oh, there's a little bit of regret there. Let's get rid of that. Oh yeah, I'm gonna punch right in. All right. Why am I having fun doing this? EFT is actually funner than I thought. And to think that I have this beautiful tool at my fingertip to use for any emotion that comes up, even allergies, phobias, bad memories, negative thought patterns. Here we go. I'm tapping away, letting go any regrets. And now I'm going to the gamut and I tap away. Eyes open, eyes closed, eyes open, head straight, looking down to the right, back. Now looking down to the left, back looking straight. Now I'm going to do the easy eye roll, just going counterclockwise with my eyes, pretending there's a clock in the sky in front of me. Here I am. Okay, I have a hard time talking through that one. I'm going to do it again. Looks like something was hiding there. Oh, I'm doing it again. I'm going to make sure my eyes run smooth. Interestingly, there is something hiding here. Okay, I was able to do it. Now I'm going to do it counterclockwise. Oh, not moving my head, just eyeballs. I'm having a hard time with this one too. Or releasing that stuck little energy that doesn't want to go. So guys, I'm not sure who I'm picking up here, but someone has some stuck energy. So let's do this together. Okay, that was easier. I'm going to do it one more time. Oh, I'm doing someone, I don't know who it is, but someone's having a hard time releasing. It's okay. We're going to get through this. Let's count together. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that was better. Taking a deep breath. Now let's hum. Count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Humming. That's done. Now we're going back. We're just tapping, just going through the last bit. Oh, wow. Taking deep breaths, talking if you want. You know, if you still feel like yelling, that's okay. Not a problem. You might still have more to release. Here we go. Getting to a nice calm state for your day ahead. Now we did this in 4 times in total. I think I'm gonna double check. Sometimes it can take 4, 5, 6 times of EFT to release something. As you get stronger with it, as you get more accustomed to it, it will go quicker. And there you go. So we're gonna let that dissipate. I'm just gonna turn off the heat, it's a bit hot here. We're gonna let that dissipate now. We're gonna give, and just all of you, just kind of think back of where we started today and that issue that came up and what level you were at. And then feel where you are now. So we kind of did an initial demo, and in that demo, you were still getting the healing. It didn't have much of an effect in the number for Katya, but it was still chipping away. Then we did a session, and she was a 9, and that went to a 6. Then we did a session, went to a 4, and then we did another session. Now, this is where you're going to self-check. Where am I feeling? And you're like, but how do I know what I'm feeling? You know what? The first number that usually comes to your mind is the right number. So you can play with it and see. You might go from a 10 to a 2 after one time. It may have been something simple you're releasing. Sometimes it takes longer. All right, just be patient with yourself and have fun with the process. All right, yeah, it's fun, right? It's a 2.5. So that is manageable. Now, Katya, I think you have the tools to do it again. And what I'll do actually is I'm going to email this deck right away. So if you want to do the tapping today and do any of those, that's fresh in your head. So I'm going to send you that. It's just a quick deck I put together yesterday. So it's at your fingertips. The video, the replay will come later. I think it's too long to put it on for a 2-hour session. So I'll try to break it up, but when I do video editing, it takes time. So, Katya, you're feeling good? Everyone else feeling good? So we've lost some people along the way who's long, and that's not a problem. But I would love to hear huge change from anyone. What I'll do now is I am going to shut off the recording. thank you for uh, so thank you so much for joining. And what I'll do is I'll just stay on for questions if anyone has any. But EFT is so powerful. All those tools and tips I taught are so powerful.